Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Japanese from Zero. Today, I'd like to talk about four concepts that are useful for understanding Japanese grammar: voice, aspect, tense, and modality. But before we start, I should explain something about the title of this series. It's called Japanese from Zero, but that doesn't mean every video is designed for complete beginners. Some videos will be very basic, some will be intermediate, and sometimes, like today, I may suddenly talk about something a little more complicated. This isn't a course where lesson 1 leads to lesson 2 and lesson 2 leads to lesson 3. You don't have to watch these videos in order. If you are just studying Japanese and you are learning hiragana like I, I, U, E, O, today's video may be difficult. And that's completely fine. There are many great resources for learning basic Japanese. You can study the basics and come back to this video later. And sometimes I'll make very basic videos too. I'm a Japanese language teacher, but I'm also still studying Japanese grammar myself. Of course, I'm a native speaker, so I can use Japanese naturally, but using a language and understanding how its grammar works are two very different things. Actually, I sometimes find Japanese grammar easier to understand when I study it in English. So this series is not only for your study, but also part of my own study. Today, let's explore four grammatical concepts together: voice, aspect, tense, and modality. Here are our four concepts: voice, aspect, tense, and modality. To make them easier to remember, I'm going to connect each one with a simple question. Voice: who does what to whom? Aspect: what stage is the action in? Tense: when does it happen? And modality: what does the speaker view it? These are simplifications, of course, but I think they are useful for remembering the basic ideas. Let's start with voice. First, voice. A simple way to think about voice is who does what to whom. Let's look at an example. 先生が田中さんを褒めた。先生が田中さんを褒めた。The teacher praised Tanaka. Here, the teacher performs the action. Now let's change it. 田中さんが先生に褒められた。田中さんが先生に褒められた。Tanaka was praised by the teacher. The basic event is almost the same, but our grammatical perspective has changed. The first sentence is active. The second sentence is passive. Japanese also has the causative and causative passive forms. For example, 書く to write and 書かれる to be written, or depending on the context, to have someone write something affecting you. 書かせる to make, let someone write. 書かせられる to be made, to write. We don't need to study all of these forms in detail today. The important idea is that voice changes the relationship between the action and the participants in the action. So when I hear voice, I remember who does what to whom. Next is aspect. Aspect can be a little difficult to understand. A simple question is, what stage is the action in? Is the action continuing? Has it finished? Or has something happened and produced a state that still exists? One very important example in Japanese is nani nani teiru. For example, ご飯を食べている。ご飯を食べている means I'm eating. Here, ている describes an action in progress. So far, this looks similar to English be plus ing, action in progress. But now look at this sentence. 結婚している。結婚している means I'm married. It doesn't normally mean I'm marrying. The event of getting married has happened. And now we are describing the resulting state. Another example is 窓が開いている。窓が開いている which means the window is open. Again, we are describing a state. So, Japanese ている doesn't always correspond to English be plus ing. This is one reason why aspect is important when studying Japanese. Aspect tells us how an event unfolds or what stage or state the event is in. So aspect, what stage is the action in? Next is tense. This one may be more familiar. The basic question is, when does it happen? In Japanese, an important basic distinction is between past and non-past. For example, 食べる and 食べた. 食べた is past and 食べる is non-past. But why do we call 食べる non-past instead of simply present? Look at this sentence. 明日寿司を食べる。明日寿司を食べる。I will eat sushi tomorrow. The verb is 食べる. The verb is 食べる, but obviously the event is in the future, not present. Or next sentence. 来年フランスに行く。来年フランスに行く。I'm going to France next year. Again, 行く is a non-past form, but we are talking about the future, not today. So, grammatical tense and actual time reference are related, but they are not always exactly the same thing. When studying basic Japanese tense, remembering the distinction between past and non-past is very useful. So, tense. When does it happen? Finally, modality. Modality sounds like a very technical word, but the basic idea is interesting. Our simple question is, how does the speaker view it? How does the speaker view it? Let's start with a simple sentence. 雨が降る. It will rain. Now, 雨が降るだろう. It will probably rain. 雨が降るだろう. Prediction. And 雨が降るかもしれない. 雨が降るかもしれない. it might rain. The basic event hasn't changed. We are still talking about rain, but the speaker's attitude towards the information has changed. With the law, with the law, the speaker is making a prediction or judgment. And with かもしれない, like here, the speaker expresses possibility or uncertainty. Uncertainty or possibility. So, modality can express many things like possibility, certainty, judgment, intention, and obligation. For example, 行かなければならない。行かなければならない means I have to go. This expresses necessity or obligation. So when I hear the word modality, I remember how does the speaker view it? How does the speaker view what they are saying? Now, let's put these concepts together. All together now. Look at this sentence. 田中さんは先生に褒められていたかもしれない。田中さんは先生に褒められていたかもしれない。Let's break it down. This means in English, Tanaka might have been praised by the teacher. So let's break it down. First, 褒められる。褒められる。This is voice. Means this sentence is passive. So that's the voice. Next, ている. This gives us information about the aspect of the event. Then, ていた. Now we also have past tense. And finally, かもしれない. This is modality. So, voice, aspect, tense, modality. In this sentence, かもしれない means that the speaker feels it is possibility. These are simply four unrelated pieces of grammar. They are different dimensions from which we can analyze the same sentence. And that's what I find interesting about them. So let's review. Voice, who does what to whom. Aspect, what stage is the action in. Tense, when does it happen. Modality, how does the speaker view it. Voice, aspect, tense, and modality. Of course, each of these topics is much deeper than what I've explained in this short video. I'm still studying them myself, and making this video helped me organize these concepts in my own mind. If you are a complete beginner and this video was difficult, don't worry. You don't need to understand everything now. Maybe come back to it sometime later, after you see other videos for really beginners or after you read some books that you can afford in your nearby bookstore and study a very little about Japanese. Then you can go back to my video. And the next Japanese from Zero video might be much easier. Or maybe it will be even more difficult. I don't know yet. That's how this series works. So, thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Goodbye. Have a nice day.